Hi, everyone. I am EstaRa with a message for you this week. The message is for the week of September 26, 2016. I want to provide you with some messages that I've been getting, but also want to do a reading for you for the coming week for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, and Together, the Union. So I want to just briefly update you on a couple things. So last week I left you a message through video saying how we are in the equinox energy and there's a big shift coming. Well, it was really kind of cool. So I live in the northeast of the United States and I live in Connecticut. And we had the equinox on the 22nd. And on the 23rd, we still had some lingering humidity. It's been really humid, like thick air, which actually felt like exactly what the month of September felt like to me, thick and heavy and just not good. And then I woke up on Saturday morning after I did a little meditation on Friday, and I felt this like lifting of energy, and it didn't feel as dense and as heavy. I still feel like my head is still going a little because Mercury did move direct on the 21st, but I have to say it's still kind of like we're still in the shadow period. And it feels lighter to me. And yesterday I posted out there a message, and I want to let you know that if you haven't already done so, please check out my Soul Star Healing fan page on Facebook and like it, follow it, because I give updates like little brief energy updates, little messages, little channels, little tidbits of information. Or check out my blog, which is listed in the links below, and I provide some longer energy information um, blog posts. So that will kind of help you a little bit. One of my big things for with my guides that I've worked with over the last many years of my life, they've been really present with me and they've really helped me on my journey, especially with regard to my twin flame. And so one of the reasons that I have started creating these videos is to assist all of you in some way, shape, or form. And one of my biggest things is to bring you love, light, and peace, and to help you understand where you are in the journey and what's happening. Because when I started this journey, I felt like I was left out there to fend for myself, if you will. I didn't know the word twin flame. Um, and when I began, it was back in 2005 is when I met my twin flame. But when I was a 5-year-old little girl, I had very clear recognition of why I was here. And I knew I was here to meet my other half. And up until about 7 years old, I was very clear about I'm here to meet my other half. I'm going to find him. And don't worry, I'm not going to find him right away. I'm going to go through lots of changes. I probably won't date a lot, but I will know who he is when I meet him, and it won't be till my late 30s. Well, I'm in my mid 40s, um, and I did meet him in my mid 30s, and I knew who he was, and it was a really hard experience. It's been really difficult, and I know that many of you are going through that. I've done several readings and sessions with people over the last several years, and I know many people are going through lots of emotions and a lot of doubting. And I have to tell you, that's normal. That's absolutely normal for the journey of a twin flame. And one of the things that, when I met my twin, the energy was moving a lot slower. It was definitely not fast like it is now. I feel like we're in fast forward, if you will. And it's been picking up pace since 2011, and it's been getting faster and faster. Well, in the last 6 to 7 months, it has really sped up. I feel like we are getting slammed with energy, just pushing us forward and moving us into the direction of our soul. And so, if you feel like you've been pummeled, trampled upon by the energies, that's on purpose because it's forcing you to look inward. And if you keep looking out for the answers, um, and expect that somebody's going to fix it for you, that's not likely to happen. Many people who do sessions with me will know that there's a lot that I can clear and move for you and assist you in like getting past some things and seeing things, but I always give homework. And if you're one of my clients or my students, you know that I like giving homework. I don't really like giving homework, but my homework's easy, I think. It's, well, maybe not easy, but fun. And it helps you in the direction of your soul. And the reason I do that is because even though I can do what I do on my end, the truth is you still need to maintain your vibration. You still need to maintain your frequency. And there is still work for you to do. So that's part of the reason I like giving homework because it keeps you on task and it keeps you in alignment. And one of the things that's been coming up a lot recently is doubt. In the month of September, I'm sure a lot of people had doubt. And I know for myself, I was like, really, what is going on? Why is this taking so long? Does it have to take this long? And the answer I got is we're in the process. you're in the process, just accept it and recognize that's where you're at, so that you're not doubting and you're not struggling with it. And also, the the doubt piece is coming up for everyone to recognize where inside of you you're carrying doubt in your life. And it's not just with your twin flame, it is doubt that you are experiencing and carrying in other aspects of your life. So, where in your life are you not moving forward? Where in your life are you doubting your abilities, doubting your ability to set boundaries, ability to create, ability to follow your soul? Where in your life are you doubting? And that's where we need to look at. So, I encourage you to do that, particularly if you haven't been doing it in the month of September, doing it now, today, now. We have another 999 gateway, and that is tomorrow on the 27th of September. And I'd like you to use that. I mean, I feel like the 999 gateway that I talked about recently was all about releasing. This is like another opportunity to let go and release. So if you have time tomorrow, it doesn't matter what time of day, it doesn't have to be specific, but I highly recommend that you use some time tomorrow to really release for yourself. If you're feeling like you can't or you're struggling with that, please just ask your angels and guides to clear the space and help you see what it is you need to release and what is coming up for you. A quick way to look at it is look at your past month, what's been surfacing, what's been coming into your reality, what's been evidence of your reality, and what is showing itself to you as I need to take care of this. It's been a common theme all month long. And so for me, a lot of the common theme was like physical level. And when I did my major clearing, I really did an intense clearing on 999. And when I did that, it kicked up all kinds of stuff. I didn't have computer access, I didn't have all kinds of things, but it did make me deal with the human level, which I mentioned in the previous video. So I'm not going to ramble about that in this one. So if you didn't see the previous one, check it out. I did start dealing with a lot of physical stuff that I could put away to the side, not deal with. I'll deal with it later. I kept saying, but the truth is, I can't deal with it later. I have to deal with it now, and I needed to clear the space of that. And so this is all about clearing. And I didn't mention in the last video how important this was, because there was a sense of urgency that many light workers have been feeling. Many twin flames have been feeling a sense of urgency. So, what does that mean? My guides told me, yes, there is a sense of urgency because you're being pushed to clear, 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 clear. So, clear the pathways, clear out any blockages you have that are coming up for you. Now, does that mean you clear every single thing that's out there? Perhaps not, because the reality is we are a work in progress, if you will, and we can but continue to evolve and change and ascend. But we have things that we know we can get rid of, we no longer need, that no longer serve us, but yet we've been holding on to them. So my suggestion is to really pay attention to those things and to move them. And the sense of urgency is because this week is like a final week of really intense clearing, and then I do feel a shift moving by the new moon, and I'm hoping by the new moon I'll have more information for you and share a video with you, in hopes that my computer continues working. But I really encourage you to use tomorrow as a good releasing and allow the next few days after that to release stuff, because I feel like that is big for many of you. I also want to say that we are moving into a lighter, more peaceful energy, if you will. So, that being said, I'd like to do a reading for you for the week of September 26th. And I shuffled the cards, put them face down on my table over here, and I'm going to pull them and tell you what we get. So, let's pull the Divine Masculine first. Okay, when I look at the Divine Masculine, let me show that to you. Hoping the glare is not as terrible as it looks from my end. It's a beautiful picture of a fairy like ripping open the petal. And you can say it's pulling off the petal, but I actually feel like it's opening it up. So it's opening up the flower. And when I look at this card, and I also see the butterfly above, I'm getting pulled to that immediately as transformation. When I see this, I get different messages for different people I'm reading. But when I look at this for the divine masculine energy, I feel like this is representative of September. So I know we're moving into a new moon, and I feel like this reading I'm doing is, they're giving me the message that it's for the week. Um, I feel like the divine masculine has been pulled open. It's not that he's being pulled open; he is pulled open. So I feel like the divine masculine is in kind of a place of, oh gosh, if you will, I would say it's more of a rawness to the divine masculine, like they're raw. they've been working really hard in the month of September on another level and on their physical level, which you may or may not be aware of. I for one haven't spoken to my twin in a couple weeks. It'll be almost 2 weeks now. And when I spoke to him, I could tell something was going on for him, but he was making it all about me, which I was very grateful for because I had a lot going on and I wanted to share stuff with him. But I know that he had stuff going on, and he was being very loving and very supportive and very kind to me, and it was exactly what I needed for my soul, which is beautiful. But I know that he needed something, but he didn't ask for it, and I was hoping that the next couple of days he would have given me a call back so that I would be able to give to him in that way. Now I always give to him on another dimension, but in a human form, I was hoping. And so when I look at that card, let me bring it up again. When I look at this card, I really feel like he's been opened. He's been through a lot this last month, and I feel like it represents that he's raw. So the divine masculine energy, again, that's not necessarily a male; it could be female as well. It's whoever carries the divine masculine energy in the relationship. And so with him, I feel like the divine masculine is really raw, and he's still he's not quite ready to come full force forward. He's getting ready, is my feeling, but he's still raw from everything that he's gone through, all the challenges, all the stuff that he's been dealing with, and all the stuff he's been interacting with. So when I see that, that means to me to be patient a little longer. And I know a lot of you hate the word patience. I can tell you honestly, I dislike the word patience. Although many years ago, I used to say I should be Saint April, because that's my human name, April. Saint April, the patron saint of patience, because I felt like after going through this particular journey, I feel like I've been extremely patient. So bear with your beloved masculine, your divine masculine energy, because I feel like they are going through patience. And if you are the divine masculine energy, I send you love and light and patience from your divine feminine. Okay, so let's pull the card for the divine feminine. I really like this card. Now, it's not that I didn't like the other card, but I love this card. So let's look at this card a little more closely. This is known as the Guide of Hearts. And if you look at it, it's like the fairy godmother. And this is like the Wizard of Oz card. You see the balloon, you see Emerald City, but you see the fairy godmother with a winged heart above, and she's known as the Guide of Hearts. And so when I look at her and I think of the divine feminine and what we're going through, I feel like we have so much support and so much guidance. And the contrast with the divine masculine, because often the divine masculine tends to be the more unawakened twin. And if you look at that, they're raw, they're open, they're raw, and they have a little support. They definitely have their support, but they don't have the conscious support because they're not, in that consciousness that we are necessarily. They are awakening. They're awakened, but they're in the process of awakening and evolving, and so they're happening. That's happening rapidly. While we, as a divine feminine, most of us, the more awakened twin, if you will, has been in the process of being awakened. And we keep going through more awakening, but we've been in the process of it for much longer. So we are more adept at handling the energies that are happening around us. So when you look at the divine masculine, he's raw right now, and he is still being awakened. And so, during the awakening, you're getting integrated more and more. Okay, so when you look at this divine feminine, this beautiful card of the Guide of Hearts and the fairy godmother, if you will, she is totally surrounding us and supporting us and bringing us love. And you know what's really interesting to me is the full moon. If you can see that behind her, I'm drawn to that in a way that I have never been drawn in this card before. So I want to tell you what's been happening and what is going on is you are being divinely guided. So if you are hearing contact your twin, please contact your twin in any way, shape, or form. But again, as I've always cautioned, have no expectations of your twin responding to you. Just do what's resonant to you. If it doesn't resonate, please don't contact your twin. But if you feel this like strong urge to send a message to your twin, recognize that if you send a message and they don't respond, you're activating them. It's an activation. It's something that spirit feels is necessary to tune in with your twin. It's just like when they contact you and then they kind of disappear for a little while. It was an activation for you not to forget them. But there's more to that. There's more than just not forgetting him. But on a human level, it's it's more of the contact of like, here's human contact. But on a spirit level, there is like divine guidance with that. So trust please trust in your intuition. And I feel like that's what this means. Trust in what's coming to you because you are being guided at this time. You are not alone on this journey. You may feel alone at times. I can tell you honestly, with all the people that I love in my life and all the beautiful clients and friends that I have, there are times I feel alone. I wake up without my twin in my bed. I go to bed without him there. Um, and you know sometimes I just feel alone and I want my twin there, and I want that other half of me. But I'm not alone. I do have unseen help, the unseen helpers, the archangels and my guides, the arcturians and the Galactic Federation and Twin Flame Collective. They're all there, they're always there. It's just that they're not physical, tangible, and they're not, you can't always see them. But I know they're there and supporting me. And so please recognize that you're being supported during this time. It's been a rough month, and we're not done with September yet. We're not quite in there. But I want to come back to the fact that I was drawn to this moon behind her. Like this moon here, I've never, when I looked at this card before, I've never really paid attention to the moon. And when I look at it, I am so drawn in to the moon. Um, I feel like the message with this is, and I'm kind of channeling it as I'm speaking because I often channel as I speak. Um, the full moon is really the harvest moon, the full moon in October, and I don't know when that is, but it's probably middle October, about 2 weeks or so from now, because the new moon is on Friday. Oh boy, or Friday, Saturday. This new moon is going to be really powerful. And so listen to your guidance as to what to do with this new moon. Really put your energy towards focusing on what you want. But before you get there, do the stuff I suggested earlier. Clear out whatever you see has been coming up as a common theme. You don't want that theme anymore. Let it go for good. It's goodbye to the old paradigm, hello to the new. We're readying ourselves, the planet and all of humanity is readying itself to move into the new paradigm fully. We're not quite there yet. We're still in between worlds, if you will, but we're getting ready to go into the new paradigm fully. And I feel like the full moon represents abundance. It represents union. It represents coming together. It represents harvest time. And I feel like this card is telling me, like, whatever you're doing now, you're preparing for harvesting during the next full moon. And, I know that a lot of people astrologically feel that the new moon is about abundance and about harvesting that we create with the new moon. Well, this card makes me really feel like the divine feminine has, I don't know, a good connection, and it's time to use that energy in that way. And often we don't really think about it. We get stuck in our emotions, stuck in ourselves, and or our life keeps happening. And I feel like that card is really representative of where the divine feminine needs to put her energy right now. So the guidance that I'm receiving for all of you and sharing with all of you, and I'll be doing it myself because I never give anything to you that I've never done myself or will not be doing. So the guidance I feel with that card, and it's the guide of hearts that came through. I feel like the guidance is to utilize the gateway, the 999 gateway. We're in it right now. Tomorrow's the official 999 gateway. And then I would say for a few more days after, you'll have the 999 gateway. Use that to clear stuff away. Do a releasing ritual, clear away what you need to. And then the new moon will present opportunities and new timelines for you. And it's really important to focus on what you want. So get rid of what you don't want and be ready for this new moon coming in because I feel like it's going to be powerful. Okay, so I pulled a card for the couple together union, and it was funny. A second card was like, please pull me, please pull me. So I pulled both. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, I like this. So it's really, they're pretty cool cards. So the first card that I pulled out of the deck was Ten of Wands. So let me show you that card so you can see it more clearly. And you see a fairy over here, and you see up here butterflies. You also see the gate open, and you see the butterflies either going or coming. It's how your perception is, honestly. So when I look at this, when I look at the card, I really get pulled to the fact that the fairy is just sitting there with her magical wand, and she's holding this beautiful rainbow fairy. I mean, rainbow fairy, rainbow butterfly. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure what I'm saying. So when I look at that, I actually feel like the rainbow fairy is showing you that she has her magic. She's sitting there. The gate is open. things can come and go, release and receive. That's what I feel like that means. And then I look at her just sitting there, and these beautiful white butterflies are just flying away on their own and bringing messages to us. But I feel like it's carrying out our wishes. So when I look at this card, I feel like together the union, it's about you creating as the divine feminine and sending out your wishes about you and the divine masculine. What is it that you wish to have? And it's funny that I see that in this card and I experience that, but I also experience the allowing it. And so if you notice, she's just sitting there, she's doing nothing, she's literally doing nothing, and she's just sitting there and allowing. And the gate up here, oops, wrong side, the gate up here is like open, so it's allowing things in and allowing things to go out. So I feel like it's really important to utilize the energy of this time, trusting and allowing things to happen. One of the big things that we do as twins is we get in our head and we forget that our hearts really do know the answer. Our souls will always guide us in the right direction and show where we need to be. Our souls are always ready for us to receive abundance and receive what it is we desire. But the problem is we get into our heads and think this is how it should be. This is what it looks like. If it doesn't look like that, then it can't be. And when we do that, one of the big problems that we run into is that we put limitations, and we don't want limitations because our old paradigm is limitations. Our old paradigm is all about what you can and cannot achieve, what is possible, what is not possible. And because we've been so programmed for so long, and so many people have been so programmed for so long, and so much around us is programmed to believe in the old paradigm still so much, and being, I don't know, anchored in it and stuck in it for many, many of us. That creates so much limitation that doesn't really need to be there. We actually can move past that. And I want you to recognize that the biggest message from that card, let me show it to you again. The biggest message I get from this card is just sitting there and allowing it to happen. It's not like you have to do anything actively to make it happen. And what I mean by the do not do anything actively to make it happen, you don't need to go banging on your twin flame's door. You don't need to go yelling at him to get himself together, herself together, or be like, "Where have you been? Like, why aren't you here?" It's not going to help the situation. I feel like allowing it to come and go as it will is exactly what needs to happen. And I know that sounds like crazy, but it's the same way of saying let it go. And one of my favorite affirmations that I use all the time, especially when I get too much in my head or things start to not go well, the affirmation that I put together many years ago, I'd say 2 or 3 years ago, I came up with, I trust in the flow and I let go. I trust in the flow and I let go. I'm not sure if I shared that with all of you at another point. I may have, but I love that affirmation, and it's really, really something that many of us don't recognize that as how it should be. We actually think we need to take action. We always believe in having to take action. I don't feel the taking action. When I feel the taking action is like what I mentioned to you. If you feel the guidance and it resonates that you're supposed to contact your twin, by all means do it. And when I think of the twin and getting that message and should I contact the person, if I get a very clear message to contact my twin, I always believe there's like a window of opportunity that it will be receptive and it will be received by the twin. And so I use that time now and I just do it. Before I used to get caught in my head thinking, should I, shouldn't I? I haven't talked to him in a long time. He might think I'm crazy, blah, 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 blah. I don't care at this point. I don't care what he thinks because on another level, his soul is connected to my soul and knows exactly what's going on and understands exactly. So humanly, he might just need to hear from me and he might respond to me, he might not. But I know that I just do it now. And I trust that. And then other times I might be like, oh, I want to talk to him, and my head might be like, you should contact him. Well, that's not the same as my soul speaking. So that's the trusting in the flow and letting it go. If it's supposed to happen, it'll just happen. Your spirit will just give you the message. If you're not supposed to contact the person, there'll be blocks and obstacles and obstructions, and you won't get the signs. If you're meant to, synchronicity will happen and show you it's the way. All right, so the other card, remember I picked two for the union. So when I picked the second card, it's really awesome. This is the one that was standing out to me like, pick me. So I did, and it's called, and I'm sorry for the sound effects. I'm in a very animated day today. The card is Wishing Upon a Star. I so love this card. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm so bad with the camera. I'm praying that my next computer is much better and I can actually handle the camera better. I love this card because it's Wish Upon a Star. And, this kind of goes along with what I was talking about early on. Our job as the divine feminine is to make the wish and to um, make the manifestation, put it out there. What we want, what we wish for, what we love, what we desire. Put that out there to create that and manifest that. That's really the new moon energy. That's like what you want to do after you clear stuff. You want to manifest what it is you desire. And bringing yourself inward and anchoring down into the earth, very important. A lot of times people don't recognize grounding as important, but it's so important. Grounding your energy and pulling in your entire soul to be pulled within you and grounding into the earth makes it possible to manifest it into the dimension that you're living in. So when we are floating above ourselves and we're not anchored and grounded, yeah, it's all fine and dandy to create, but that creation needs to come down into each layer and anchor within us. So really important to ground your energy. I have to say the Wish Upon a Star card is really explanatory, self-explanatory in a lot of ways, but it gives me hope, and it makes me think that our twin is raw. We're being guided as to what to do next, and then we have this card saying, with all that energy that our twin is raw from, our twin is going to create and wish from that space of being raw. So when you think about being raw, I think of Oh, I think of raw. Like everything's just been horrible, rough, difficult, and I feel like any moment now I could cry or um, I can't deal with anymore. No more. I just can't deal with anymore. And so it kind of puts you at your lowest place, if you will, and all you can see is up. You can see like possibilities that were not visible before because you were kind of like in the murky water. Well, when you're raw, the murky water has been removed, you've been stripped, and all you see is potential because there's like you can't go any lower, you can't go any further back, so the potential's there. So I feel like our beloveds, our divine masculine, is actually moving into the place of creating from the rawness, the pureness of their soul. Because when you become raw, you get stripped of the soul and you're open and you're ready to create from a place of love and openness. And for the divine feminine, you are guided every step of the way as to how to create, and you are being given the opportunity to do that. So to me, this is amazing reading. I love it, and I can't wait. I can't wait till October, September. I just want you to go. It's been rough. It's been long. And I'm so ready for like a new beginning because I feel like that's it. We're putting closure. Again, that sense of urgency to close, 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 clear, clear, clear is happening with the energies that have come up in September, and we're opening and getting ready for this amazing new energy in October. And I say amazing new energy. I really don't know what that looks like. I have no idea what that means, but I just feel like it's going to be a little better, if not a lot better than it's been. So I'm very optimistic about the October energies moving in, and I'm very optimistic about this new moon and the next full moon. Um, and I wanted to mention, so the last few months I've been giving you little messages that my guides have been giving me about transformation. We're beginning to embody our new body, our new energy, our soul's truth. We're beginning to embody, and then we started to navigate it in September. So all of September we've been receiving this new body download, if you will, this integration of our soul's truth. And as we're integrating it, it's opening us up, making us more raw, making us more ready, more clearing happened so that we could direct the energy. So when that happens, it's like we might misfire, we might miscreate, we might make mistakes, we might have errors. Like for example, I had a lot of craziness. I had this computer's been having a lot of issues, like a ton of issues. And after I finish this recording, I'll probably shut it off for like an hour before I can try to upload it, just so it will cool down. But I was having the trouble. I bought a new computer, actually a refurbished one, and it had problems. It had so many problems that I couldn't use it. And because of that, I was, what do I do? How do I deal with this? I don't know how to deal with this. My new computer I couldn't work with. I couldn't do anything with. So I had to return it. And it was almost like giving me the opportunity to revisit something again and to see where my misfiring was, my miscreation. And my miscreation actually came from making the decision without sitting with it and breathing into it and recognizing, is this the right computer for me? Um, and not just be willing to trust someone else to help me. I did have someone assist me, but I also need to take part in that creation. What that means on a grander scale is that I can't leave everything up to the universe. I have to tell the universe what I want. Because if I'm not very clear with the universe about what it is I want, then guess what I get? Everything that maybe I don't want, or a bunch of stuff comes my way, but it's not what I wanted, or it's not going to benefit me in the way that I need it to. So my suggestion to all of you is to create from that space. But by doing that, you have to clear and get ready and prepared. And being in this new body, this new integration of our soul's truth, and this new energy moving into us over the last month and a half, I would say that now we're getting ready to like put into practice some of the stuff that we've learned. We've learned what not to do, right? So we're going to learn what to do next. And so I've learned from this month. I hope you all have learned some stuff from this month. I feel like we're not done learning. That never stops because we're still integrating things and changing. But we are getting ready to create again. And this is the new moon is coming up, and we have to be more conscious and more clear about what it is we're putting out to the universe. So I hope this helps. I feel like I rambled a little bit there at the end, but I hope it does help. And I wish you all well and a blessed day. I know in Connecticut it's getting colder, and I am so not liking the cold, although it feels really good since it's been really humid, but that just gives me signs of like fall and winter coming. So I wish you all well wherever you are on this beautiful planet that we live on, and may we bless this planet every day and show deep gratitude for her because we need her to make it through this huge ascension that we're all going through. We are all moving into the new paradigm, the earth as well. And so that being said, we need to support her and love her and give her such beauty every chance we get and such gratitude because that amplifies the love that Gaia can give back to us as well. And if I can be of service to you, please feel free to contact me. In my link is my website. Please check out some of the Twin Flame offerings that I have. And I am hoping that now that we're getting into cooler weather here, that I'd like to create some webinars that will benefit some Twin Flame stuff. Because, like I said earlier on, I was really guided to do this work to help all the Twin Flames. You know, I I didn't know what I was here to do fully in the recent years. I'm like, I feel like what I was doing before, I'm done with. It's time to move on to the next chapter, the next place to start from. And I was asking for very clear guidance, and I got pulled to doing this. And I've been doing twin flame work for years. I just didn't do it specifically and really directly. And now I'm leaning towards that's where my direction is. And quite honestly, I've gotten synchronicity, lots of messages and guidance that this is where I'm supposed to be. So if I can be of service to you in some way, shape, or form, into helping you come into union, helping you clear any blocks or obstructions that you might have, or any issues that have been hindering you that you feel that you might need assistance with, please feel free to contact me. My information is in the links below, and I am here for you. And I send you love, namaste, and so much love to all of you each and every moment. And may your union happen in a quick and smooth manner. Blessings.